Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're living in a world that's already been scripted for you? Like every step you take, every decision you make, is somehow already mapped out by forces you can't quite see or name. Like no matter how hard you work or how much you question, the deck is stacked, and someone else is shuffling the cards. Maybe you felt that invisible weight, the sense that the system is designed to keep you running in circles, always just out of reach of real freedom. Well, what if I told you? You might not be wrong. In fact, you could be seeing the world more clearly than you think. Today I'm diving deep into the hidden forces that shape every part of your life. Money, media, even what you believe to be true. These aren't just abstract ideas, they're the very levers that control the world around you, often without you even realizing it. Let's start with money. Most people think they know how the financial system works. Work hard, save, and you'll get ahead. That's the story we're told from childhood, the promise that effort equals reward. But the reality? The central banking system, led by giants like the Federal Reserve, prints money at will, causing inflation that eats away at your savings, while you're stuck playing catch-up. The value of your hard-earned dollars shrinks, and the rules of the game keep changing, always in favor of those who already hold the power. The rules are written by those at the top, and the rest of us are just trying to keep up. It's a system that rewards the few and keeps the many in a constant state of striving, never quite arriving. Now let's talk about the media. We think we have access to all the information, but ask yourself, who owns the news you watch or the stories you scroll through? Who decides what's important, what's urgent, and what's left out entirely? A handful of massive corporations control almost everything you see, hear, and read. These companies have the power to set the agenda, to highlight certain voices and silence others, shaping not just what you know, but how you think. It's not about informing you, it's about shaping your reality. The stories you hear, the images you see, even the words that are repeated, all are carefully chosen to guide your beliefs and your actions. What you call news might just be someone else's narrative. The line between fact and opinion blurs, and before you know it, your worldview is being constructed for you, piece by piece, and it goes even deeper. There are claims, controversial, yes, but worth questioning, that elite groups push agendas around climate change, censorship, even depopulation. These aren't just wild theories. They're topics that demand scrutiny because the consequences affect us all. Whether you buy into these theories or not, one thing is clear. Control is power, and those in power rarely give it up willingly. History shows us that those at the top will do almost anything to maintain their grip, often at the expense of everyone else. So the next time you hear about a new policy, a market crash, or a crisis on the news, stop and ask, who benefits? Who stands to gain from your fear, your confusion, or your compliance? Follow the money, follow the influence, and more often than not, you'll find the same names and faces at the top, the same circles of power, making decisions that ripple down to affect millions. But here's the twist. Knowing is the first step to breaking free. Awareness is a kind of power in itself, a light that cuts through the fog of manipulation. When you question everything, when you dig deeper than headlines, you start to see the patterns. You begin to notice the connections, the recurring themes, and the motives behind the stories you're told. You start to reclaim your power. You become harder to fool, harder to control, and more capable of making choices that truly serve you and your community. I'm not here to sell you fear or conspiracy. I'm here to give you a wake-up call, to remind you that the world is more complex than it seems, and that your awareness is your greatest asset. The hidden forces are real, but so is your ability to see through them. You have the power to question, to learn, and to act with intention. So, what will you do now that you know? Will you keep playing the game, or will you start asking the hard questions? Will you accept the world as it's handed to you, or will you start to shape your own path? The choice, as always, is yours. And remember, real change starts the moment you decide to see the world for what it truly is.